Yeah, the revelations now televised. A platform for you and I. And now look with full heart and clear eyes. Now, these are just my thoughts. Truth on how I feel on these topics I reveal. Please know my toll, I always keep it real. Can't face the word if you can't face facts. For your time, just open up your mind. That's it, just live, think big, now take that. With God in me, this here was made by design. Yeah, the revelation will be televised. REVELSations.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the REVELSations Podcast. It's your boy, Rev. We're in season 2, and I am happy to be here, happy to rock. A lot of new things going on in season 2. First of all, new threads, going to be rocking some shirts with different Rebelsisms. Those are sayings that I have, ideas that I have, put them on a t-shirt. I love rocking t-shirts. I got a new mic, so hopefully you can hear me better. None of that foggy microphone stuff. Better camera. Keeping rocking. So those are the good things. Got some bad news. Social media management team is going away. Bad news for me. Possibly good news for you if you want to help Rev out with the REVELSations Podcast, because I do not run the social media at all, and I'm not going to run the social media. You can hit up REVELSationsPodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact me at the REVELSations Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I could get back to you. I can message there and be like, hey, you want to help me out? We'll talk business and see if you can join the show. Speaking of the show, we are rocking in season 2. That'll be 27 more episodes coming at it. Okay, I'm still doing the Adam Eden show with my girl Blair. That thing is rocking. And if you rock with me in the Black Minds Matter podcast, I just hollered at my boy Mac today. He's got something coming. The Nile is blowing up. So the REVELSations Podcast is a Nile production. So got all that administration stuff out of the way. Please subscribe, rate, review wherever you get your podcasts. You know what to do. Follow. And most importantly, if you're a fan or you like the content, share it. Please just share it with somebody. So what are we talking about today? I'm going to merge some things. I got some news to share with the people. Going to merge some things, a story that has happened to me, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to rock out. So, season 2, verse 1, we're going to talk about destiny. Destiny, like do we have control over what happens, or are things meant to be? I've heard people say, like, what is meant to be will be. I think, what do they say? Que sera, sera. What is meant to be will be. And a big part of me believes in that. Like, I have a saying that I use all the time with a lot of people that I know in my personal life. It's already written. Like, my story is already written, and I just have to live my life. But I do believe that we play active participants in our story. So I don't know if you all are old enough to remember those like mystery books where you would read a book and then it says, if you want the adventurer to do this, turn to page 78. But if you want the adventurer to do this, you can just continue reading here. And you can do that. I sort of think that's how our life is. But before we dig into all of that, let's look up some definitions. So the dictionary definition of destiny is the events that will necessarily happen to a particular person or a thing in the future. Things that are inevitable, meaning they will happen no matter what. Right? The things that will happen. And I'm not talking about like, will the sun come up tomorrow? I'm talking about those things in your life that will inevitably happen. Do we have a destiny? I don't know. Let me know. Reach out to me. Do you believe in destiny? Do you believe in fate? It could be in relationships like, oh, I'm supposed to marry this person. I'm supposed to marry that person. It could be, I'm supposed to be a NBA player. I was destined to be. I'm supposed to be the next president of whatever country. So these are things, events that will necessarily, meaning they will have to happen. They will happen to a particular person or thing in the future. So I actually believe in some form of destiny or fate or something like that. I actually believe in some form of it. I do believe that, but I believe it is in purpose. I believe that purpose is sort of mapped out for us, not necessarily predestination, but I do believe that certain things are meant for us. And I say this, what God has for me is for me. And nothing you can do about it. what God has for me is for me. But I believe I could do something about it. I believe if God has a position for me, or I think even a particular person for me, that is going to happen. But I also believe that we are active participants in our own lives, and we can ruin the plans that I say God, you may say the universe, you may say the creator, whatever it is, has for us. And I'm going to tell a story and talk about why I believe in fate and destiny. So, as you know, may not know, I am recording this live on February 28th from Medellin, Colombia. That is where I physically am right now. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. And I've been in Medellin, Colombia for about 2 years. And I'm teaching class. I'm a teacher here in Medellin, but I have just recently finished my coursework for my doctorate. A lot of you know that. And before I got here, I was working in school administration. This means higher level outside of the classroom. I was an athletic director for several years, and then I was a director of operations. So I've been at higher level positions than teaching. Now, I'm a teacher by nature, teacher by trade. That is what I do. I'm always going to teach no matter what. But I stepped down from those higher positions to come to Medellin. Great opportunity to live overseas, and an opportunity to work a little less, to be honest, in order to finish my doctorate, right? So great. But I have been trying, and I haven't necessarily felt comfortable in this particular spot. It's not necessarily the school I'm at. It's not necessarily the place that I am, but the thing that I am doing. I'm uncomfortable. I'm sitting in a seat, like I'm sitting right here. The seat is holding me, it's keeping me up, but it's a little lumpy. It's a little weak. I'm not necessarily comfortable. I'm like, man, I got to move. And it's not one of those ambitious things. Ambition is like always striving for greatness because we want to do that. But it's not ambition just because I want to be at the top just because. I want to be greater than my position, greater than where I am right now, because I believe I am destined. I have these things that will necessarily happen to make me go further. So when I got to the place, served at the school for a year, the following year, I was like, you know what? I can do more. Let me see if I can try to go out here and get promoted at the school. And I've tried to get promoted. I tried to get promoted at the school, and nothing happened. Like, got rejected, got whipped over, got passed. Don't really necessarily understand why. They said there were some reasons, but whatever, don't necessarily believe that. But it's okay. That's all right. That's all right. And I was upset, not that I got passed over. That actually didn't bother me. I was upset in the way that it happened. The reason I wasn't upset that I got passed over was because what I just said. What God has for me is for me. My destiny, my fate is sort of already written. Now, I can be an active participant, but we'll get to that in a second, but it has already been written. So, moving on, over Christmas break, at this school, we get a super long Christmas break, like 3 weeks or something like that, almost a month off of school. And over Christmas break, I was chilling one day, and this was January 4th, 2024. And I was sitting right here on my computer. I think I was doing something, messing around with the podcast, and my buddy texted me and was like, hey, Rev, I see this job that's available for you. I'm a recruiter. I'm going to connect you with their recruiter. The ball is in your court. And he just sort of left it like that. So I reached out to the guy and was like, the guy reached out to me and was like, hey, we should talk. And I was like, all right, cool. Reached back out to him. Let's talk, make it happen. This was on January 4th. So we talked immediately. It was great. And I went through 6 interviews. And it took a really long time, but I ended up getting a new job. So I'm going to be moving away from Medellin back to the United States in the summer. Now, this position that I'm going to have is a greater position than the positions I was applying for here in Medellin. And where I think the fate comes in, those doors were closed. Because had one of those doors been opened here in Medellin, I wouldn't have the greater position that I'm going to back in the United States. So after the fact, after I get the job that I'm going to over the summer in the United States, I got to thinking back to all the rejection I had and why I had the rejection, I was like, oh, this was the purpose. This was the destiny. This was the thing that will necessarily happen to a particular person being me. Those doors had to be shut because if they were open, unlike myself, I would have walked through. This is a great opportunity. Let me walk through. But those doors had to be closed. I didn't close them. The doors had to be closed so I wouldn't walk through them. So back to this job thing. So again, talking to these people, and I believe in purpose. I don't believe in coincidence. I do not believe in coincidence. I mean, maybe it's a coincidence if you run into somebody at work at the mall or something like that, or maybe it's a coincidence that you end up playing with a guy on one rec league basketball team, and then you guys decide to do like rec league flag football, and you end up on that same team. Something like that could be coincidence, but I don't believe in like life coincidences. Okay, I just do not believe in life coincidences at all, and everything about this new position I'm taking shows that things are lining up too well. So, for example, from the day I started talking to the people to the day I got a job offer was 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, again, 40 days and 40 nights. That number 40 is very significant to my beliefs, to my religious beliefs. I'm not one of these numbers people, but Jesus was in the wilderness being tempted by the devil for 40 days. When Noah and the ark and the great flood. Now, the thing about the great flood is there's so many religions that and history throughout the world that account the great flood. It's just not like the Christian religion. So they talk about the great flood, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And in this process with getting this job, it was literally 40 days and 40 nights. The night of the 40th night is when I got and accepted the job offer. And again, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe it lined up. Also, I have some things in the United States that I own. Some things that I own that are going to come with me to my next place. I could have sold these things. I'm talking about my furniture and all this kind of stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff and I could have sold those. But something inside me was like, no, don't sell it. I never once thought about it. And now that I'm going back, they're going to come with me and it's going to help set my life up so I don't have to now try to start all the way over from the beginning. Well, I was living here. I've been living here since 2021. Not only was I living here, I was trying to stay here. Now, the whole time I'm trying to stay here, trying to get jobs and promoted here, I still never thought once about selling my things and like going all in here. I never did. It never even crossed my mind. And then after I got the job, I realized that's why it never crossed my mind, because things were lining up. So ended up getting the job. I'm gonna be moving back to the States. That could be good. That could be bad. I'll be doing that later this summer. And once I get there, I'll tell you all where I am. But I don't believe in coincidences. I don't think all those things lined up in coincidence. And even in the interview process with the job that I have, the people that I talked to in sequence, in order, it was 6 people. And it was random on their part. They were like, oh, well, we're going to have you talk to this person in. Well, this person is available now, so we're going to have you talk to person 4 instead of person 2, et cetera, et cetera. But it ended up working out exactly better in the order in which I talked to the people. So again, I believe in purpose. I do not believe in coincidence. So yes, I believe in destiny, but we can mess it up. We can. A person can be destined or have fate to be something great, be a great athlete, be a great teacher, be a great singer, be a great politician. And along the way, if they stray off their path, drugs, alcohol, terrible decisions, that destiny can be wrecked by the person who is on the path of the destiny. I do not believe other people can wreck your destiny. I only believe you can. I only believe you can wreck your destiny. So I'm in education. If I go out here and start doing a lot of crime, doing a lot of drugs, robbing people, doing nefarious things, I am wrecking my own destiny. I was meant to be higher. Let's say I was meant to be a superintendent, but I can't be a superintendent and I'm going out here and I'll rob 5 banks. Well, you were supposed to be, your destiny was to be this great individual, but you decided to make bad choices. And you decided to make choices that would take you off your path. That wasn't your fate. I believe that we can veer from our path. So then, what do you mean your path? Again, I think that we are destined and purposed to do a particular thing. I think everybody is. But we get to decide. We get to be active and willing participants in our purpose, in our destiny, in our drive. I don't know. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You think, hey, I make my own path, I make my own destiny? Cool. But if you do that, you also got to think that then you can put barriers in your own way of your success. I personally think everybody was designed to do something good. Every human being has a gift. Every human being has a talent. Every human being was designed to do something great. I think we get in our own way. And even though other bad things happen to us, things that are outside of our control, choices we did not make, people may harm us, people may assault us, family members may misuse us. I don't think that necessarily knocks us off our destiny unless we allow it to. I truly believe that, unless we allow it to. It is not, most of the time, it is not our fault when bad things happen to us. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times not. But it is always our responsibility in how we respond to the negative thing. So we can't let it knock us off our square. So if I'm on the destiny to be this great person in education, it is up to me to stay on the path and make good choices. Now, all my choices may not be great, but I need to do something not so dire that it knocks me off the path. And then I'll make it plain and then I'll get up out of here. So we often, I believe there can be, not all the time, I believe that there can be destiny and fate in relationships as well. This person is supposed to be with this person and they're going to be together, married or not, whatever, and they're going to be together. And let's just use some round numbers here. With these two people together, they can get to a level 9 or 10 happiness, right? This is your person destined to be your person. Cool, I believe in that. I really do. Well, both parties have to be active participants in listening to whatever higher power and yielding to that higher power and doing what they're supposed to do. One of the people can ruin it for both. They can say, nope, I'm not going to do that. Or they get the person, they do something nefarious and make the other person not trust them or love them anymore. That can happen as well. But again, it's an active participant in our own demise. Now, person A and person B should be together. I believe this. Person A decides, I'm going to be with person B. Person B decides, nope, I don't want that. Person B has ruined it for person A and person B. Ruined it for them. I believe that person A will still get to a level of happiness because person B is not participating. Person B is not going to be as happy as they could be if they were to yield to the destiny and actually go with it. But again, we got to be active participants in our own destiny, just like oftentimes we are active participants in our own demise. What do you think? Do you believe in destiny? Do you think I'm kooky? Do you believe in all of these? Do you think all these things that happen with me, getting this new opportunity, is just a coincidence? I don't. I believe that it was ordained step by step, steps were ordered. And then that means, Rev, we don't have any control. Control? How much control do you think you have? We don't really have any control. One of my favorite songs, most of us know it, by Gnarls Barkley, which is Danger Mouse, was a musician, and he had one of my favorite artists of all time, CeeLo Green. And one of the songs, they have a song called Crazy. And CeeLo says, who do you think you are? Then he laughs, ha, 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 bless your soul. You really think you're in control? And then he says, well, I think you're crazy. If you really think you're in control of things, if you really think we can control all these things, we can control our life, we have all this liberty and freedom, you're crazy. And I will go back on the next verse of the REVELSations Podcast to tell you how crazy you really are if you believe you're in control. Normally, I don't say inflammatory things like that, but we are not in control. We're always being told what to do, where to go, when to stop, when to go, all of that good stuff. But join me next time on the REVELSations Podcast to figure that out. So this has been verse 1, season 1. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Season 2, I'm sorry. Season 2. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Rock with me. Hit me up at REVELSationspodcast@gmail.com. The Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook is still live. There won't be a lot of posts right now unless you want to help me out and you want to come work for the REVELSations Podcast. Again, you can contact me, REVELSationspodcast@gmail.com or the REVELSations Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I am because we are. Hallelujah. Holla back. Peace.